quiet of the night, when the cold winds blow, there's a truth in the dark where the secrets go. Every whisper, every crime, unraveled one clue at a time. What's hiding in the past? What's lurking down below? Only the shadows know.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to our channel. Today, we're diving into one of literature's most enduring mysteries, the strange and tragic death of Edgar Allan Poe. He was the master of the macabre, the father of the detective story, and a poet whose words still haunt us today. But the story of his final days is as bizarre and unsettling as any tale he ever wrote. It all began on September 27, 1849. Poe left Richmond, Virginia, on his way to Philadelphia to edit a collection of poems. He was supposed to then travel to New York to pick up his aunt and mother-in-law Maria Clem and bring her back to Richmond for his upcoming wedding. He had just over $100 on him, a significant amount at the time. He seemed to be in good spirits, his life finally looking up after years of struggle, but he never made it to Philadelphia. A week later, on October 3rd, Poe was found in a state of delirium on the streets of Baltimore, outside a public house that was being used as a polling station for an election. A man named Joseph Walker stumbled upon him. Poe was semi-conscious, disheveled, and wearing ill-fitting soiled clothes that were clearly not his own. He was unable to explain how he got there or what had happened to him. Walker, recognizing the famous author, sent a note to one of Poe's acquaintances, Dr. Joseph Snodgrass. Dr. Snodgrass and Poe's uncle, Henry Herring, arrived and decided to send him to Washington College Hospital. For the next 4 days, Poe drifted in and out of consciousness. He was plagued by terrifying hallucinations, shouting at imaginary figures on the wall. He was never coherent enough to explain the missing week or how he ended up in such a state. On the night of October 7, 1849, according to his attending physician, Dr. John Moran, Poe uttered his final words, "Lord, help my poor soul." Then, he fell silent forever. He was just 40 years old. So, what happened? The official cause of death was listed as phrenitis, or swelling of the brain, a common diagnosis at the time for a variety of ailments, including those caused by alcohol. And this is where the first major theory comes in: death by alcohol poisoning. It's no secret that Poe had a lifelong battle with alcohol. His rival and literary executor, Rufus Griswold, painted a picture of him as a hopeless, debauched drunk. Griswold's biography, published shortly after Poe's death, was a character assassination that cemented this image in the public mind for decades. Dr. Snodgrass, a temperance advocate, also strongly believed that Poe had simply drunk himself to death. This theory suggests that Poe, despite his recent pledge of sobriety, fell off the wagon during his trip and went on a fatal binge. But there are some serious problems with this theory. Dr. Moran, the man who treated Poe in his final days, repeatedly insisted that he detected no smell of alcohol on Poe's breath. Furthermore, Poe had joined the Sons of Temperance just months before his death and seemed committed to his sobriety. While a relapse is possible, many who knew him found it hard to believe he would succumb so completely and so suddenly. Some friends even suggested that a single glass of wine could send Poe into a spiral, making him an easy target for foul play. This brings us to the second, and perhaps most famous, theory: cooping. Cooping was a brutal form of election fraud common in the 19th century. Gangs would kidnap unsuspecting victims, force them into a room or coopee, ply them with alcohol or drugs, and then drag them from one polling station to another, forcing them to vote multiple times, often in disguise. The public house where Poe was found was, in fact, a polling place. His strange clothes and disoriented state fit the profile of a cooping victim perfectly. Was Poe, a well-known figure, really a target for such a scheme? It's possible. He might not have been recognized in the chaos of Election Day. The theory suggests he was drugged, beaten, and left for dead after the gangs were done with him. This could explain his delirium, his unfamiliar clothes, and his inability to recall what happened. It's a dark and compelling scenario, one that feels ripped straight from one of his own Gothic tales, but the plot thickens. Over the years, medical experts have re-examined the evidence and proposed a host of other possibilities. One prominent theory, proposed in 1996 by Dr. R. Michael Benitez, His rabies, Poe's symptoms in the hospital, confusion, delirium, hallucinations, and periods of lucidity followed by relapse are highly consistent with the furious form of rabies. The disease can have a veritable incubation period, and he wouldn't have needed a visible bite. A scratch from an infected animal could have been enough. Dr. Moran noted that Poe refused alcohol and drank water only with great difficulty, a classic sign of hydrophobia associated with rabies. Then there's the possibility of a brain tumor. A study of Poe's skull exhumed years after his death was said to show a calcified lump that could have been a tumor. While the evidence is shaky and debated, a tumor could certainly explain his erratic behavior and sudden decline. Other theories range from carbon monoxide poisoning from gaslighting to a severe case of the flu, which was rampant in Baltimore at the time. Some have even suggested murder at the hands of his fiancée's brothers, who may have disapproved of the marriage, or a mugging gone wrong. We also have to consider the psychological toll on Poe. He had lost his beloved wife Virginia to tuberculosis just 2 years earlier. He was grieving, financially unstable, and under immense pressure. Could his final breakdown have been purely psychological, a lesion of the brain brought on by stress and sorrow? It's a tragic thought, but one that can't be entirely dismissed. Each theory has its proponents and its flaws. The Alka theory is undermined by eyewitness accounts from the hospital. The Coupon theory, while fitting the circumstances, lacks direct proof. The rabies diagnosis is compelling but ultimately speculative. We are left with a puzzle where the key pieces are missing. That lost week between Richmond and Baltimore holds all the secrets. The mystery of Edgar Allan Poe's death has become a part of his legend. It's a final, real-life horror story from the master himself. He crafted tales where logic and reason battled against the chaotic and the unknown, and in the end, his own life concluded in the same way. We may never know for certain what transpired in those final, frantic days. Was he a victim of his own demons, a casualty of political corruption, or a sufferer of a random, tragic illness? Perhaps the truth is a combination of these things. The one thing we do know is that his genius was extinguished far too soon. The questions surrounding his death ensured that Edgar Allan Poe remains as enigmatic in death as he was in life, a ghostly figure forever wandering the foggy streets of our imagination. What do you think happened to him? Let me know your favorite theory down in the comments below. It's a fascinating case to discuss. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this dive into a historical mystery, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more content. We'll see you in the next video.
In the quiet of the night, when the cold winds blow, there's a truth in the dark where the secrets go. Every whisper, every crime, unraveled one clue at a time. What's hiding in the quiet of the night when the cold winds blow? There's a truth in the dark where the secrets go. Every whisper, every crime, unraveled one clue at a time. What's hiding in the past? What's lurking down below? Only the shadows know. In the quiet of the night, when the cold winds blow, there's a truth in the dark where the secrets go. Every whisper, every crime, unraveled one clue at a time. What's hiding in the past? What's lurking down below? Oh.